Attention please. This train terminates at this station. All remaining passengers, please exit the train. Thank you.
Imagine you could take a train back in time to the heart of an ancient kingdom at the height of its glory. Here he would see glorious palaces, walk through sprawling gardens, past golden-roofed temples guarded by stone lions, and take respite from the heat next to a water fountain. He would walk through marketplaces and public squares, a floating town entirely supported on stilts, part of a complex network of canals, a riverside trading post turned royal capital. Today, a metropolis with over 10 million people and the highest number of annual international visitors, it bristles with fast-paced chaos. Yet, take an unexpected turn into the wrong alley, and you might find a scene that curiously seems to belong to an era bygone. This is the City of Angels, Krungthep Mahanakhon, or as most people know it, Bangkok. The trip begins, as most good trips do, with a night out in town. I am by no means a party animal, but as the crowds spill out onto the streets, I take delight in the flurry of flashing colors and the endless people-watching opportunities. This is truly a city that never sleeps, only shape-shifts from day to night, night to day. It is a quiet Monday afternoon in the streets of Talat Noe, and my first day out alone. I've visited Bangkok once before with family, but this time around I've tagged along with my father on his work trip, so I'm by myself for the most part. I like to think that I'm a somewhat experienced traveler, but doing this solo is something I have yet to learn. Good thing I brought a local friend along. I picked an ambitious route to get here. Took a bus, then the train, then a ferry, but from the ferry terminal it was a short walk right into the most colorful alley of the neighborhood. After some aimless wandering and an hour of ignoring my grumbling stomach, I finally decide to get some food. But just as I'm figuring out where to go, a huge gust of wind almost blows me off my feet. As if on cue, it starts pouring dramatically, and it looks like there's no time to linger. The closest shelter is where I'm having lunch. What, no Google reviews to fuss over? Truly a lesson in spontaneity. Bangkok is a city of dualities. Everyday old traditions jostle for space with modernity in a poetic dance. Imagine sipping bubble tea next to a pair of monks in a cafe playing modern-day radio hits. Can't think of anything more poetic. But being the only person sitting there alone, I started feeling a little self-conscious. But as soon as I could root myself back to the present, I could appreciate the romance of the moment. And soon I was back on my feet again, exploring the city. Bangkok breeds art, and as I find myself stumbling upon one piece of art after the other, I wonder what story it is that the collective consciousness of the city is trying to tell, and if at any point it intertwines with mine. I've always been someone that enjoys my alone time, so it's a bit of a contradiction that being alone in public feels so different. When I'm just out for a purpose like running errands, it's easy. But when I'm in a hip social space with no real agenda, I become more aware that it's been a while since I've had any friend groups to go out and do things with. More importantly, though, rather than the need for company, it's the feeling of being exposed. An unpleasant memory from the past resurfaces, and suddenly I'm wondering how I appeared to onlookers like a group of friends giggling over ice cream. I know it's a negative thought pattern, but I fear I stick out like a sore thumb. However, being in a city that brazenly displays its dualities has made me feel more confident that I can be both at once, that timid schoolgirl from the past and the person I am today, rediscovering myself away from the noise. Because when I'm someplace where nobody's really looking, I could lose track of time, spending hours reconnecting with my childlike wonder, roaming these hidden lanes where a quiet, mysterious air of abandonment lingers. And those are exactly the days that stick out. The ones where I wandered out of the hotel without a checklist and just let the streets beckon to me. And oh, how they beckoned.